to have a look at the Go Discoverer. Now I've had this model for about 2 years and been a little bit concerned. Had a couple of goes at flying it, as you can see, and thank you to Andrew Goddard. Thanks Andy for telling me that the motor mount is pretty weak, and what I've done is, when I brought this out to fly it the first time, absolutely shattered the motor mount. So they're just a plastic, inferior plastic injection molded motor mount. So what I did is I measured it up and designed my own and 3D printed it. I don't know whether you can see it. Oh, this thing is really hard to get out. Don't know whether you can see it in there, but it's green, 3D printed. So I've made it a bit thicker and a bit more sturdy, and I've put an aluminium cross behind it so the screws don't bite into the plastic. Same motor, just using the standard prop on it because the prop is a bit inferior, plus I broke that. So pretty big cargo bay. A couple of other mods I've done, I've glued that in. I've used this fiberglass tape for the hinges and for here, because I don't take mine apart, so that was a bit wobbly and wasn't lined up properly and would move around, so I thought that might affect the flight. And we've taped up there, and we've taped the leading edge just to make it nice. Now I've put a hook in here so I can use the catapult system, because I was a bit concerned about throwing it and having that motor going and then, you know, straight into the arm. And there is the discus sort of throw where people get it and sort of, you know, do the round thing. And anyway, so I've got this, and I've got this for one of my other models. I'll show you that in a minute. Pretty big cargo bay. When we had the forced landing, broke the little tab off here, so I've put that on there, and I've got a camera in there. We'll do some FPV, not today but one day. I only got 3 batteries to test it out with the Maiden. I've put a tent peg on there for the catapult mechanism. I've put it in some fiberglass tubing. It's about 70mm long. I've got a washer, and I drilled it out and bent it over in the vise so it would form the same shape. Drilled it through, didn't get it very accurately in the center inside there, but then where it came up on the inside, glued another washer there so it's sort of held in both directions. So the whole idea is you can catapult this and not hand launch it. So that's the machine. If we have a look at the catapult system, there's my D-shackle, and this can move depending on the model that you want. So that just goes in under there, and then you just move that backwards and forwards until you get that right sort of near the back where you want it, and that'll do there nicely. It's got the locking pin on there so you don't accidentally fly off the handle, so to speak, and a couple of pegs, and I've put some nice cover on it and painted it pink because you don't want to leave it behind. So what I do is I put this in the ground, put this over the top of it, center it, and then I walk out 15 paces, and they're fairly long paces. And out here I've got a big round hook, and that is just sitting there. And what I do is I center it up on the mechanism, drive it into the ground, and then we're good to go. So it's important that you actually have a safety mechanism on there. You don't want this thing flying off. And all I did there was put a little bit of electrical cable with a pin, drilled a hole in this little pin in there, and just secured it underneath with a bit of wire, just so you don't lose it. So we're good to go. So the non-standard prop on there, these are the batteries I'm running. They're big 4S batteries. I just put that one through and maidened it to make sure it would work okay. I built this myself, as you can sort of tell, and got a rat strap on it and a couple of Turnigy straps, and that just fits into the engine bay here. Got that sitting there, so everything's good to go. We'll turn the Mobius on so we can take some flight footage. So we're now recording. I'll stick him in there. We're all pretty well good to go, and we're just running the standard 9-inch gem fan prop. It does take a bit to get up and going, this thing. The idea of the launch, how I launch, get it pretty well central and as far back as you can, which is always an advantage. Get everything ready, bit of up elevator, and get your revs up so it's just starting to move, and then hit it, and as soon as you hit it, full stick. Bit of a pat your belly, rub your head experience, but we'll see how we go. So we're all good to go. We'll turn that on.
BB.
So we've got some bit of up elevator.
83 BB.
And there you go.
70 BB.
There you have it.
63 BB.
She roars, isn't it?
83 BB.
That's a big
72
four
BB.
cell. Get a bit of height.
69 BB.
It's very, very slow flying, this, in regards to its rolls and turns. Not very good for aerobatics.
75 BB.
I did a loop with it, but
76 BB.
it was pretty high. You won't see that.
72 BB. 68 BB.
So bring him around so you can see.
58 BB. 72.
That's flat out.
80 BB.
When you do turn, you lose a fair bit of height, so you got to
3 BB.
really put the juice into it. Keep him up.
60 BB. 78 BB.
You can see there, that's no
69.
throttle, just see it drop.
73 BB.
So we're bringing through for a pass, a full speed pass. That
66
prop's
BB.
not balanced, so you can hear it sort of.
69 BB.
That's flat out V8.
7 BB. 68 BB. 69 BB.
So you can get the sweet spot in it.
67 BB. 70 BB.
So that's about half throttle. Hands off the stick.
71 BB. 79 BB.
Bit of go juice to get him up.
78
So we might bring him in.
63 BB. 58 BB. 61 BB. 68 BB. 69 BB.
And there you have it. Only sort of 10 or 50,000 paces away.